Welcome back to On My Heart. And there is something very special on my heart today because we're going to look into greens, the symbol of new life on this planet. And don't you agree? There's something very, very comforting about walking on the fresh green grass. Try walking barefoot even. Oh, you're going to feel at the top of the world if you do that. So we're going to have fun today. We're going to look into greens and every shade of possibility of greens. And then we're going to use those greens in our painting. So let's get started. Hello, fellow artists. I hope you're really feeling like artists by now because today we're going to do a new color. We're going into the greens. Nothing in nature is just green. It's all shades of greens. And so let's look at that and experiment. Get your heavy paper because we don't need our canvas just yet, but we're going to work on the other canvases that we started. Okay, so for greens, remember greens are yellow and blue, but also remember we could get good greens with yellow and black, which makes really nice of the olive tones greens. So let's just, on a nice palette, let's just do some pure yellow, some pure blue, and see my spoons, I don't have to change them. I just keep putting them back in the same spot, and so they're nice and clean. And because sometimes you might want to use real spoons that you don't throw away. And I'll put this one back too. We don't need any more of that. And we need a little bit of black. And let's see what we do with this. We probably need a little bit of white, but well, it's good to know anyways, because we'll get some nice light greens. Okay, so everyone has their spot. Alrighty, so grab your favorite brush and we're ready with the paper towels. So let's go green today. Okay, remember yellow and blue makes green. So let's start with equal amounts of yellow and blue and we'll see where we begin, because as you know, you can get 50 shades or more. You can get infinite shades of greens, and you're going to want them in doing nature shots. So we'll start with a nice big green, and then we're going to add to it, okay? We're going to add to this by, you know the drill, we add more yellow, is going to make a lighter green. Sometimes it's fun to mix right on the canvas because you get a little bit of lights and darks too. So you can practice that in the greens. And let's go back to the yellows. Let's do yellows because these are going to be your highlight colors. And that's a little bit pure yellow, but it's got a little tinge to it. But now, let's add a little black to the yellow. I didn't know this. I found out by accident long ago that black and yellow makes the most awesome greens. So let's show you a few greens with just black and yellow. See, these are your olive greens and your khaki greens. It's just very different tones than the yellows that are than the greens that are made with just blue. Okay, you'll get your camouflage colors more from the yellow and black. See, and they get real pretty. And so we're going to want to use lots of different shades when we start adding greens to the paintings that we've already started. So you got the idea. A little more of this, a little more of that makes interesting, interesting, interesting colors. And you can mix them as you go because you know how to do it. See? All this greens. Okay, so let's get back to our paintings. We had this one, which we were going to make the sunset over the fields, and this one, sunset around a lake. So let's start with this one. We're going to add some trees. Okay, when you're not using the brush for a while, just throw it in the water because this paint dries quickly and you could ruin it. Now you don't need to be a great artist to do this. We're just gonna, this is just experiment for fun, but these are gonna be pretty when you're done. You'll see, you'll be surprised. So we want some trees. And so we can do, all I'm gonna do is make sticks. We could do tree here, tall one, some shorter ones back there. Maybe a couple, even a real tall one along here. And okay, so we got some trees. And we'll worry about the bushes later. Let's just do trees for right now. Okay? The tree trunks, we're going to use brown for the tree trunks. Let me find a nice. Okay, these flat brushes are good because we can make lines. And so I'm not sure if you still have your browns. If we did, remember all the mixing we did of browns? I saved this because you can remix these colors. So we're going to get a little bit of yellow on here, a little bit of blue from the side on here. It's already got some red. So let's just mix up a nice dark brown for starters. Okay, little red, yellow, and blue. And then to get a nice dark brown, we'll add a little black. Okay, now we just want to paint your lines. That's basically your tree, your tree trunks. Okay, we won't do them all even. And we're just going to put some trees around your lake. And maybe a couple small ones. Okay, This will give you a good practice in trees. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. Your trunks don't have to be perfect because we're going over now with the greens. Okay? So that's pretty good. That's a whole bunch of trees. That's like a forest around your lake. Okay? So, enough of that. Let's oh, I'm telling you about brushes. I'm going to show you how to take care of your brushes. But if you got some nasty old scraggly brushes, they're wonderful. Keep them because scraggly brushes make wonderful bushes and stuff. But I want to use this one for the pine trees because this one is pretty good. It's a fan brush. And it's a pretty good brush. And you'll find this is a very handy one. So let's go back to your greens palette and let's just get a dark green. We'll just do dark green for now because we're going to put in the lighter highlights. Okay? So for the trees, you just want shape. Okay, these are going to be pine trees. So you just kind of add the shape of them, just kind of out, maybe a little bit downward, getting more as we get closer to the bottom. Okay. Pine, I like the way this brush works because it makes good pine trees. So just slightly taller at the top, fanning out just a little bit. Now, don't worry if the trees, if you cover the branch or the trunk, not to worry, because the trees just go out. If they all kind of blend in together, that's fine too, because the separation comes with the highlights. So just get your trees, get them all on there with the darks. But these are your basic pine trees. And you'll see when we put the highlights on that they're looking really good. They're a little bit thin up at the top. So that's a basic pine tree. So we're going to leave these trees for now. And let's come over here and let's do some like hardwood trees that are not pine trees. Okay, I'm going to put this one away in the water. You can kind of, you don't have to always decide exactly where you're going to put your trees, but for this, I'll just make a basic tree. You can't see that, can you? Let's use a contrasting color. Not to worry because this, okay, so we'll just do a couple trees maybe that are growing out in the field. And we'll put some bushes in later. And we'll fill these in later. It's always good to not have them all the same size. Okay, so these are going to be like totally basic trees. And we can take the tiny brush. We got these little brushes, which are really good. So we'll take a little bit of the brown and we'll just make very quickly, we'll make a little bit of a thing. So we'll just go over, but you know, we don't want much detail. We'll put in some more detail later, you know. We just basically want a little bit of brown. And don't worry about the branches and everything. Those can come later. And so we just want a little bit of brown where the trees are going to go. Okay. And we'll do a few of them right here. Now you can, if you want to, you can put in the tree trunks later, but since this just gives you a little bit of an idea of the shape of the trees. Nothing fancy, okay? Okay, so this has just got a little bit of tree. Okay, that's good enough for now. Now, let's try a scraggly brush. These are great. We just want to we'll start with the darks, remember, because the darks are behind, and we'll come back and we'll put in highlights later. So these are not pine trees. They're just kind of puffy, scraggly trees. And you see how nice the brush works when it's like an uneven brush? It makes nice leafy looking things. Okay? Okay, so let's do some highlights. Highlights will be your light color green. Now this sun, you always have to know where the sun is coming from to do highlights. So the sun is really setting. So the sun's going to be coming from this side and this side. So we'll kind of highlight those sides first. And we'll leave the other sides a bit darker. Okay? Because that's where the sun hits. So the ones way over on this side aren't going to get as much sun. Okay, there. Some little highlights on that. Let's look at this one real quick, because where's the sun on this one? It's not on the picture. So the sun is probably going to be behind you. So that means this side of the tree is going to be lit up because the sun is not on the other side. So let's do some quick highlights on these trees, which just really get you the idea of the tree. Don't cover all the darks. Leave a lot of the darks showing, because remember, the darks give the depth. Okay? We want the depth. Now we take the tiny brush. That's what this little guy is for. And on the tree stumps, it's usually darker on one side and lighter on the other. So we'll just darken one side of this. Now, we want to kind of fill in with some shrubbery. Shrubbery is fun and easy to do as well. And let's use another of the scraggly kind of brushes. Let's just fill in randomly. You don't need stuff, but randomly we'll just put in shrubbery. And it doesn't have to be the same color. This is where you can mix right on the palette, on the painting, because as you mix, they're all going to be different colors. And sometimes you want them different colors. Sometimes you want the brighter colors. But let's put these little shrubs right around the lake. And you can do them as quick or blurry as you want. There is even another way, which I'll show you real quick. We got this. This little tool can be very handy, and you can actually scratch your branches in. See how it scratches? You can scratch right down to the white with branches of your shrubs. It kind of just gives the idea that they're there. We don't need anything real fancy. So we really had to race through these paintings. But you got to remember, you can keep working at them and perfect them. And I want to show you some pictures of a hometown friend. His name is Steve Henderson. He's a professional artist, but he does something very similar. Look at his trees, how simple they are. And look at these. Aren't these awesome? Because he does the pine trees very quickly like we did on the pine trees. And he also does the shrubs and bushes. And you see, this gives you an idea. You can add colors. You can add all kinds of things to put the final details on your pictures. So feel free to keep working at them, and we will see you in the next time. And I'm going to show you some really good tricks to get you to paint what you love. So you saw how many greens God has made. In nature, there's an infinite amount of greens. And you know, let me just do a little plug here. You can stay really healthy if you drink your green smoothies every day. So don't forget to incorporate a lot of greens in your diet too, so that you'll be green inside and out. Any gardener knows how good greens are for you. Next week, we're going to look into how to paint anything you want. And I mean it, anything, because I'm going to show you how to transfer pictures, any photograph, any picture, onto your canvas. So you don't have to be a great drawer or sketcher to be able to do it. You'll be able to just paint what you really love. So I urge you, look around for photographs or pictures that you really love, and I'll show you how to deal with them next week. This is going to be quite an exciting class, so be sure to join us. And until then, know this, you're on my heart.
Hi, I'm Alex, the editor of On My Heart. Working with Buffy was a lot of fun. She even painted this quick portrait of me. When you give a gift, you make local community-focused programming like On My Heart possible. Just use the QR code or visit our website at the link in our bio to find out how. And don't forget to like and subscribe to watch more great episodes and get inspired to let loose your inner artist.